Hey guys, hope you're having a fantastic day. This video is going to be covering where I've been and what I'm going to be doing and my future plans for Elder Scrolls Legends and everything else included. So, I have been out for the last couple of days. I had something important come up that I had to take care of. Plus, I got hit by killer allergies. So, things have been kind of slow on my part, but I do have some plans for stuff that I want to do coming up. So, as far as Elder Scrolls Legends goes, let's talk about the fact that they just released this new patch. In this new patch, they nerfed the skeleton, the Bone Colossus that buffs all undead instead of just buff skeletons. So that's a small change. They added a 300 soul gem cap on the amount that you can grind from doing the practice arena trick that I showed you guys in the other video, which is a huge bummer. Like 300 soul gems is 75% of an epic card, of a purple, and that's incredibly disappointing because it really puts a limit on the way newer people can get in and start getting those cards to compete. Because now what's happened is the overall population and collection of players that are interested in this game, that have gotten to the higher ranks and put money in, have invested enough time and enough resources that now they have like really cohesive decks. They have legendaries, they have decks that go together. It's really, really strong, which is good. It's good that there's this healthy interest in the game. However, what that means is for players coming in, they now have an even steeper wall that they have to climb over because A, they're going to be fighting nothing but these really strong decks when they're laddering, and B, when they try to come up and get the cards that they need in order to compete, they're going to run into a wall that previously wasn't there with that cap on soul gems. So that's really disappointing. I hope they change that. They haven't done anything with Solo Arena yet. Also disappointing. I'm kind of hoping that they do some modifications to that. But what they did add was a new starter pack, which what the starter pack does is it's $5. You get 10 packs. One of those is going to include a legendary somewhere in there, and you get some custom card backs and a title. And to me, this is kind of concerning because instead of putting their money and energy into correcting some of the issues that this game has, they're putting it into trying to make more money out of the game, and I don't like that. I never like it when I see these kinds of things. It's not a good sign. I'm speaking about the game in general. I have played Elder Scrolls Legends enough to kind of have a really good feel for it, and it does have some really fun elements, and it's got a really strong, really fun gameplay mechanic. There's different decks that you can play, but the prophecy mechanic is so frustrating. One of the things that I really dislike about card games is when RNG kind of goes overboard. So if you played Hearthstone and you know Yogg-Saron, you've seen the kind of havoc that just random cards can wreak. And the prophecy system, in a way, actually feels worse than any RNG that I've encountered in Hearthstone. Because at least when you're playing in Hearthstone, the RNG has a chance of failing. But whenever you're playing, the reason why the prophecy runes are worse, in my opinion, is because it's 5 sustained hits, and then it's this huge mental fatigue that builds up every time you play, because when you build up that lead and then you're like, well, am I going to hit in and break a rune or not? You're running the risk of essentially completely turning the game around if they happen to draw the right card. I've won games because I drew the exact right card off prophecy. I've lost games because my opponent drew the exact right card off prophecy, and it feels really bad. Like it's sustained just worry and just, is it worth hitting in or should I hold back? And it drains a lot of the fun out of the game. And I don't know what they could do to change it because the prophecy runes are a big core mechanic. So that's kind of how I feel. It's honestly kind of made me play the game less because of the prophecy runes. Now, I do like playing versus arena because there's less of a chance to run into those kinds of prophecy runes. Like you're less likely to run into constructed decks that are like packing 23 cards. And actually, as an experiment, I made a prophecy deck, and I'm still working on it right now. It's actually doing really, really well. So, for what I want to do in the future, at least as far as Elder Scrolls Legends goes, I want to start working on a versus arena tutorial, and I think the way how I'm going to do that is because each class combination is actually viable. So, what I want to do is take each class, make a video over it, talk about the kinds of cards, the different strategies that you want to look for, and then the way how you want to draft, and then if I prefer the style or not, or if you prefer because you can either be aggressive or you can be more late game oriented. But the most important thing in Versus Arena is having that tempo, because you can afford to hit in, because you're not so worried about breaking Prophecy Runes and drawing them cards that they can play on that turn. So I want to do that. I want to make a guide video for this Prophecy deck that I'm working on, because I think if I can do well with this and get to one of the lower ranks, maybe even Legend, like, I want to show you guys this deck, because I think doesn't have any legendaries in it, and it's got just a couple of really expensive epics. So this could be a way for newer players to come in and start doing well. Hopefully. We'll see. I want to do some more Star Crusade. That game is really fun. I want to show off some more videos of that. And I've been thinking about streaming. I really, really want to get a Twitch stream set up and start doing that on a regular basis, because I feel like I can do more of the kinds of videos that I want to do in Twitch, rather than taking the highlights and then making a video out of it and then putting it up on YouTube. I am looking at some other plans, some other things that might be going on, but right now the focus is going to be on TCGs. I'm also interested in putting up some board games like Tabletop and basically Tabletop. If you don't know, Tabletop is a Steam game that lets you play modified games that people have uploaded for basically free. It's an awesome game. If you love board games, you should really check out the Tabletop on Steam. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to cover. So Elder Scrolls Legends kind of not going the way that I'd like it to go. I hope they change it. I'm going to be looking at some other projects, but I'm not abandoning it. I'll still keep doing some videos on it. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you later.